What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we will be talking about Modern Warfare because, of course, today was the multiplayer reveal. I have a lot of thoughts about the game that I want to share, but I have a lot of thoughts, and I want to go ahead and share those in a video today. And, I gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of really good things about this game, and there's a couple things negative that I do want to say about it too, that I've seen, that I definitely want to reiterate. Anyways, first I want to talk about the trailer because I thought the trailer was pretty decent. The trailer was, I thought, pretty decent simply because, I mean, it showed a lot of relevant information that I thought we needed. I mean, it showed, some pretty decent cuts of the game itself, at least cutscenes, I guess you could say. It showed some of the maps and stuff, some of the kill streaks, of course. It showed the nuke at the end of the game and whatnot, and this was all to, some nice Metallica music. I mean, it was definitely a better trailer than we've gotten from previous Call of Duty games, and I think that really helped boost this game a little bit in the way that it was being perceived because, that was kind of the first impression for most of the community, and I thought it was good to see them actually make a trailer that, the trailer was actually kind of relevant to the game itself, you know what I'm saying? So, the trailer was good, but of course, that's not where I'm actually getting most of my opinions on the game from because we saw a lot of gameplay itself today, and we learned a lot about the game itself today. We saw the kill streaks, the weapons, we saw how the game played, we saw the maps, we saw pretty much everything that we needed to get our first impressions on the game today, and I definitely have my first impressions. So one of my bigger problems starting out with Modern Warfare was how clunky that the game looked and the recoil of it, and I gotta say a lot of that was kind of alleviated today. Now I think a lot of it was due to who they had kind of playing at the first event and the game mode itself. I mean, it still kind of looks just a tad bit clunky, but I don't think it looks as clunky, quote-unquote. It definitely looks a lot more smooth simply because I feel like people are actually sprinting around more. People are actually using the map to their advantage. I mean, it's not these small little confined maps in this little 2v2 game mode. People are using the sprint, you're seeing the animations and stuff, and it's only really clunky, I feel like, when you use, like, certain play styles. Honestly, I only think it really looks clunky when you use, like, snipers and stuff like that, and you're trying to zoom in, because the sniper zoom-ins are really slow and stuff like that. But personally speaking, I think, like, if you play, like, how most people play Call of Duty, like, with an assault rifle, or with a submachine gun or something like that, I think the game looks pretty smooth. I mean, it definitely doesn't look just like every other Call of Duty, but most people played it pretty decently fast-paced, and they got around the map pretty decently, and I mean, it looked like a Call of Duty game at its roots, I guess, but it definitely didn't look like a Call of Duty game at the same time because it had all these different advancements made. I mean, graphically, it doesn't really look like Call of Duties that we've seen in the past. All these new animations and stuff, the guns look radically different compared to a lot of different Call of Duty games, and a big reason that is because of the new weapon customization features. And that's another huge thing about this game that I'm actually really happy about, is the customization and all that stuff. Now, this is a big thing about this for me, is the gunsmith feature. They took the pick 10 system out of the game, and that might trigger some of you, but just hear me out on this. Because honestly, I think this is a pretty good feature, the more that I'm looking into this here. So, you basically get 5 slots on your weapons, and you can do pretty much whatever you want with this. Like, there's a slot for your barrel, there's one for, like, your stock, one for your magazine, your sights, stuff like that. So you can, like, customize your weapon. You can add, like, long barrel, a different magazine. You can add one that gives you a different stock so you can move around faster, different sights, things like that. And you can fully customize this weapon in ways that you've never really been able to in a Call of Duty game before. Now, primary weapons, for the most part, have upwards of 60 different attachments that you can equip on a weapon. Yeah, you didn't hear me wrong on that. A Call of Duty game is launching with 60 attachments for the guns that you can equip, and the secondaries are launching with 30. Call of Duty usually you see like 5. No, we're talking 30 to 60. The customization on your weapons is going to be almost unseen for this game, and I honestly think that that's amazing, and it's a definite huge step up. The way the weapons are going to play in this game is just going to be radically different. You're going to see people playing all kinds of different styles, and of course they all have their pros and cons. Some weapons, you're going to put different attachments on them, and they're going to be, really versatile and fast, but of course they might have more recoil or something like that. Or, you know, you've added something on that has a longer barrel and that adds more recoil or something like that. I don't know. There's all these different things that you can change about your weapons. I think that's pretty awesome, but I'm looking at the weapons list here, and these are only the weapons that are in the game right now. Of course, they could definitely add more weapons in before we get even into the beta, which I'll talk about more here in a minute, but honestly, the weapons list is looking pretty short for my expectations, I'm not gonna lie. We're talking 5 assault rifles, the M13, FR556, the M4, AK-47, and the Odin. For SMGs, only 3, MP5, MP7, and the AUG. For the shotguns, we got the Model 680 and the 725. For the LMGs, the M91 and L86A2. Marksman rifles, we have the M14 and MK2, and only 1 sniper with the AX50. Of course, even if we don't get anything by launch, and this is what we, you know, launch with, I'm assuming we're going to have all kinds of different weapons dropping in with DLC and stuff. Now, perks are in the game, of course, and the perks, I think there's an okay amount of those. There could be more, there could be less, technically. I think these perks are definitely more useful than Black Ops 4's, and I think that there's more total. There's, I think, 17 total perks. Of course, you know, the classic ones are back. You know, you got, like, your Scavengers and your Cold-Bloodeds and your Hardlines and your Overkills and your Ghosts and stuff like that. We're talking about 8 lethals and 8 tacticals. These include things like your frags, your Simtexes, your claymores, throwing knives, C4s. But your tacticals, you got your flashes, smoke, stuns, your stim, which is manual healing. And there's the heartbeat sensor for tactical, so I guess it's almost like a little portable radar for you. It gives you some rough information about your nearby enemies if you want to run that. I'm assuming there will be more weapons. I don't think this is a complete list, and I hope that it's not. However, the weapons do look pretty good from what we've seen. The MP7 shreds. The M4 looks pretty decent. The Odin looks pretty decent. Now, the kill streaks, that's what I'm really excited about here. There's actually a lot of kill streaks in this game. There was a little bit more than I expected. I thought they would kind of maybe slim down on the kill streaks in this game, but they actually didn't. There's 17 kill streaks, and they go all the way up to 15 kills, which of course, as Juggernaut, they include things like the Gunship, Support Helo, I should say, White Phosphorus, Chopper Gunner, the VTOL Jet, IAVs, Cruise Missiles, aka the Predator Missile, your UAV, your Personal Radar. I should add, unfortunately, you don't have Minimap unless you have the Personal Radar or UAV. The Juggernaut, apparently, when it comes into the map, plays like this heavy metal music while you're in it, so you feel more gangster while you're just mowing everybody down on the map. Of course, I think if you get 25 kills, I don't know the kill limit, but the tactical nuke is back in the game. The maps that we saw, I thought looked at least pretty okay or decent. They're not all 3-laned, which I thought was at least a step up. They said that there was going to be a variety here, and it looks like they did provide at least a little bit of variety. I'm kind of glad about that, of course. I just don't want all the maps to suck at the end of the day. I haven't got any playtime on them. That's where I can really determine if the maps suck or not. Some of the newer game modes look fun. That EMP one I thought was pretty cool looking, where you can like revive your downed teammates. It's almost like a weird search and destroy hybrid game mode. Honestly, I was pretty impressed. It looked pretty good, and another big piece of info I think everyone is looking to know here is that there will be a beta for this game. The Call of Duty Modern Warfare open beta is pre-order exclusive. That's also kind of unfortunate. That's one of my negatives, honestly, is how they're, preparing the beta. Weekend 1 is PlayStation exclusive. It will be from September 12th to 13th, which is early access for the PlayStation 4 users, and then it's open from the 14th to the 16th, which means you don't have to pre-order to get access to this part of it. And then the weekend 2 is when they're testing out the crossplay beta. Now, this is the cool part here where you're going to be able to play with your friends on Xbox and PC and stuff, and on PS4. Now, on the 19th and 20th is early access on the Xbox and PC, and it'll be open beta on PS4, and then on the 21st through the 23rd, you're going to have open beta for everybody. Now, this is my negative part here, is this exclusivity stuff. This whole PlayStation exclusive stuff, I think needs to stop, man. It's just, I don't think it's good for the franchise, especially now that we have crossplay. I don't understand how they're going to implement these DLCs with the PlayStation exclusivity, because if I want to play with my friends on Xbox, I don't want to be put into DLC lobbies and stuff. I don't care about DLC that much, you know what I'm saying? And The maps and stuff are supposed to be free in this game, and that's great. They're apparently making a bunch of strides to make the DLC and stuff, you know, more fair and stuff in this game, which is awesome. I'm still not totally sold on their whole microtransaction implements with the Call of Duty points, because I'm pretty sure that it's going to be egregious. Let's be real here. Let's be realistic here. They're not just going to give up free maps and just be like, oh, well, we're not going to just drill the COD points down your throat. But this whole PlayStation exclusivity stuff doesn't help anybody. I mean, all you're doing is upsetting your consumers on the other two machines, and now at this point, you're going to be hurting everybody on PlayStation who now wants to use this crossplay feature, who wants to play with all their friends on these other machines, especially since all the recent Call of Duties have no features for you to turn off DLC. So, you're going to have to give us a feature to turn off the DLC in this game. That's the only way they're going to be able to do this. But even then, man, just stop this whole PlayStation exclusivity stuff. Nobody really wants this. PlayStation fans don't even really care about this. Like, do any of you other PlayStation fans really care about PlayStation exclusivity? Does anyone really honestly buy a PlayStation 4 caring about this? I didn't. I didn't care about it at all because it doesn't matter. Now, another worry of mine with this game is post-launch, because that's where things really get worrisome for Call of Duty. When the game launches, everything seems to be pretty okay sometimes. Wasn't the case for World War II, but it was somewhat the case with Black Ops 4. I don't want Modern Warfare to come out really good and lose steam. Usually it's because they throw the microtransactions down your throat. That's the big deal. If they can just make a fair microtransaction system, this game might actually really do well. And it would still make a stupid, absurd amount of money. It's honestly in everyone's best interest. I wish they would see that, and I hope that they realize that, but I think that's what really holds back a lot of this post-launch content, and that's another worry of mine, is the post-launch content, because, I mean, these weapons, they're looking kind of scarce right now, my guys. I think we need some more weapons in this game to kind of, I think it needs a little bit of bolstering. I mean, you look at some of these older Call of Duty games, you know, they were launching with an absurd amount of weapons in the game. They had a lot of primary weapons, you know, they had like 13 assault rifles. They had like 10 submachine guns. They had like, you know, 7 or 8 LMGs. They had like 5 sniper rifles. We're not seeing that with this game. And a lot of that has to do with them cutting a lot of the content out to put in DLC and stuff, but I think that there is some more modern guns that they can put in this game before launch that I think would honestly fit in. They still have time. I think that there's a lot of positive, constructive feedback that can come from this. Of course, this is just preliminary thoughts. I still will have a lot more thoughts and opinions and stuff once I actually get my hands on the game. This is just stuff that's really coming to mind just from what I'm seeing right out of the trailer and stuff. But otherwise, I mean, honestly, I thought it looked pretty decent, but let me know what you guys thought down below about it. And until my next video, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel. Follow me over on Twitter at SubToptimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates. Follow me. Oh, I already said that. Anyways, join the Discord down below, and until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, I guess ready for that beta, and signing out.